Hello grade 9s. Today's lesson is on multiplying and dividing monomials. So an example of a monomial is, for example, 2x and 5x. So we learned that in class. So in this first question, you will be having to multiply these two monomials using the area model to find the product. So again, how to use the area model is we draw what I call the TP. So there's the TP. We put the first monomial on this side, on the left side, and so we have two x's, and we put them like so. X's were just little tiles. Then we have 5 x's. We have to put those along the top, like so. There's 4 and 5, and so we have 5 x's along the top. This is called the area model. Now, to find this answer, we have to fill the TP. So a positive x by a positive x, when we multiply them, gives us a positive x squared right here. And a positive x times a positive x gives us a positive x squared here. So we're filling the space with, when we multiply length by width, what is the resulting shape? So we have a bunch of x squareds in this example. And I'll just do this very quickly just so that we get the picture here. And so there we go. We have 2 rows of 5x squared. In other words, the answer is 10x squared. All right. Let's just do another one here. So the one below is negative x times 4x. So once again, we draw the TP. We put the negative x on the side. So negative x is like so. 4x along the top. Those are positive. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that is the question that we're modeling. There's the negative x in white. Now we have to fill the shape with a space that's x long by a negative x long by x wide. So a negative by positive, which means that these will all be white, because a negative and a positive, when they're multiplied, make negative. So these are all white, and there we go. That's the answer. The answer is in the TP. We have negative 4x squared, and that is the answer. All right. And the very last one, we have negative 2x times negative 3x. So once again, we make the TP. And so we have negative 2, and then negative 3, 1, 2, negative 3. We have to fill the space with x long by x wide. These are squares, by the way. And these will not be white. They will be dark, because dark means positive, so a negative and a negative gives you a positive. Same here, and same with every other row and column. So we fill this space with positive 6 x squareds, and that is the answer. Okay, so what we tell students is we want to find a shortcut. We don't want to draw the area model here because it just takes too long, right? So we look for a shortcut. How can we get from this question to this answer? So that's going to be revealed very shortly. I just have another example here. So another couple of examples here with y's. So as we can see, we have this question, 3x times 4y. So once again, we draw our TP, we put the 3x along the side. And since these are positive, we shade. There we go. We learned that y's are similar shape to x's, only longer. So a y looks like an x, except we make it just a little bit longer, so we can tell the difference. So there is 3 and one more to give us 4. And there we go. We have 3x by 4y. And now we need shapes that'll fill, that is this long by this wide. And there it is right there. It's this shape. This is a new shape that we have encountered. And this is called an XY tile. So y's are these. These are XY's because they are X long by Y. So we are filling this space with a bunch of XY tiles, and they are all positive because a positive times a positive is always positive for each one of these. And just to be really quick, I'm just going to do this so we can shade them all in. Okay. Not the neatest, but we're trying to do this real quick. So there we go. Our answer is what is in the TP. Again, they're all positive because these are all positive, these are all positive. So a positive times a positive makes all of these positive. So the answer is inside. We have XY tiles. We have 12 of them, and they're positive. So we have 12XY. That is the answer. Okay. Over here, we have a 2y times a negative x. So let's draw that. So left side, we want to draw 2 y's, positive. So those are the long bars. And we shade them in. And then over here, we have to put a negative x, which is just shorter. And it's white. So now we have to fill this space with a shape that is y long by x wide. So we have an XY shape, right? This is called an XY bar. And it's going to be white because we have a negative here on the top, and on the side we have positive. So these two shapes in here are XYs. They're both negative. So the answer inside the TP is what we're looking for. We have negative 2XYs. All right, so now we look for a rule. And if you go back and you look at every question that we've done, starting from the first one, you'll see that the rule is very simple. We multiply the two numbers in front. These are called coefficients. So we multiply the 2 and the 5. That's where we get our 10. We multiply x and x, and we get x squared. Because in our very first class in September, we learned about exponent laws. And it says when you multiply two variables, x times x, you keep the variable's base and you add the exponent. So 1 plus 1 is 2. So you can see here we have a coefficient of 1 in front of the x. So we have negative 1 times 4. That's where we get negative 4. And we have x times x is x squared. Here we have negative 2 times negative 3. That's positive 6. X times x, x squared. So the rule is coming together, right? And over here, let's see how the rule works. 3 times 4, that's where we get our 12. And x times y, notice we don't have any x squareds, we don't have any y squareds. The x and y, when they multiply together, they just simply kind of fuse or join together. So it's 12xy, all right? And over here, we have a 2 times negative x. There is a coefficient of 1 in here. So that's actually negative 1x. So it's 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. And a y times an x is xy. We don't write yx. We put xy because we want it to be alphabetical order. So x will come before y. Okay, so that's the rule for multiplying. And I'll leave you with the last step is we should now be able to just use this rule to discover that we've just discovered to find the product. So again, using the rule here, we go negative 3 times 6, negative 18. X times y, xy. They just join together. 8 times 5, that's 40. X times x, x squared. Negative 4 times negative 9, that's positive 36. Y times x, alphabetically we won't put yx, we'll go xy. Okay, 11p times negative 2k, 11 times negative 2, negative 22. K comes before p, so when pk go together, we prefer to write kp. 8 times negative 3, coefficients, negative 24. X, which has a 1 exponent, And x squared, we want to combine our, want to multiply our x's, so x1, x2. When we times them, we keep the base, we add the exponents, so it's an x3. So add the exponents. Here we have y1 with a y1, so 1 and 1 is y2. And that's our answer, negative 24, x cubed, y squared. This one right here, we have negative 5 times negative 4, that's positive 20. X squared times x to the power 3, we keep the x and we add the exponents, x5. Y squared, y5, y to the 7. Add the exponents, keep the y. And finally the tricky one, we have negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. X cubed times x squared, x5, x to the power 5. Y squared, y4, y to the power 6. Z4, Z cubed, Z to the power of 7. And that is how you multiply monomials. And the next lesson will be dividing monomials. I hope you watch that too.